What is going on today, YouTube? Now in this video I want to talk about the Boruto time skip. Is the time skip closer than we think it is? In my opinion, I do think the time skip is close. Looking at the Boruto chapters that are out so far, we're at chapter 65 and we're at volume 17. Ikimoto stated that he wanted to finish off Boruto within 30 volumes and make the Naruto series a total of 100 volumes or so. So if we're at 17 volumes and we have 2 more chapters till volume 17 is done, that means we have 12 more volumes till the Boruto manga comes to a finish. So if we have 12 more volumes left, then within those 12 volumes we need to get the time skip, because they need to do some development on the time skip of the characters, show off all the characters in their time skip forms like Boruto, Sarada, Mitsuki, and Kawaki, and all of that has to be done within the remaining 12 volumes of the manga. So the time skip has to be much more near than we think. So about a year ago, roughly, we had the interview with Ikimoto. He said that the events of Boruto and Kawaki on the Stone Faces isn't that far away. Now, he was teasing us with that, and I'm gonna be honest, me, including a bunch of other people, thought the Boruto manga was gonna go into the time skip after the events of the Ishiki fight, but we were wrong. Bro, some of us even guessed chapter 57, 60, 61, nothing. And we took his words a little bit too serious, and about a year later, we still aren't at the time skip, and 12 chapters later, we still aren't at the time skip. Because we all thought after the events of chapter 53 when Boruto stabbed Sasuke's eye, we thought Boruto was gonna go rogue on his own or something like that when Momoshiki took control of his body, but it doesn't seem like Boruto is at that stage yet. So I think Ikimoto's words are gonna come true probably in 2022, because I think we are nearing the end of the code fight right now with the latest chapter with Boruto and Kawaki both in their karma forms, where Kawaki got his karma back and Boruto being controlled by Momoshiki. Now a fight's gonna break out, and I think it's gonna last maybe 1 to 2 chapters, though I think the fight's only gonna be 1 chapter, and then the chapter after 66, which is 67, is gonna be the roundup of the code fight. Since the code battle basically did start around the end of 61, it's going to be almost 5 to 6 months in that they're fighting Code, and I think the Code battle is going to go into the time skip, because Code did say that he was going to wait on Boruto to become more Otsutsuki-fied before coming back and taking him, and I think during that gap between now and the time skip, it's going to be about 3 or 4 years until Boruto is fully Otsutsuki-fied due to the pills. The pills will slow down Boruto's Otsutsuki-fication. So I think the Code battle is going to come to an end in the next few chapters, and then after that we may get the time skip around volume 18. So I think around maybe 68 to 69 they might actually go into the time skip. So if my idea is correct, then I think we have 50 more chapters left until the Boruto manga is done. So I think Ikimoto is gonna round up part 1 of Boruto and go on to part 2. So I think the Boruto time skip is nearer than we think, because the manga is getting closer towards its end. Now my only issue is I don't want Ikimoto or whoever's writing the story, I'm not sure if Kishimoto's really writing the story or not, or if other people are and he's overwatching them. I don't want the story to automatically just jump into the time skip and we get very little chapters of the time skip material. What I mean by that is Ikimoto states that the fight between Kawaki and Boruto is not that far away. So I don't want them to milk part 1 all the way up until that point and where Kawaki and Boruto fight. I don't want that to be the beginning of the time skip. I want to see a time skip before the events of that fight, which I think is going to happen. We're going to see the events before. I want to see the events before that fight and what happens to cause that fight. Because if we have 12 more volumes left and they still need to build up to part 2 of the time skip, they need to get that stuff done. In my opinion, I think they're loafing, and I feel like they're going to end up rushing it. They took 17 volumes to develop Kawaki and Boruto now, and if they go to even volume 20, I think that's a bit of a stretch. Since if they go to volume 20s and we have 10 more volumes left, I don't think that's going to be enough time for the manga to expand on the time skip material. Though I know the manga does get to the main story points, it doesn't focus on too much development all around. But the point is, I want to see the story develop much better than them rushing it in the last 10 volumes to get the story out. And I don't want them going to that point in the manga where Kawaki and Boruto just come back from the time skip and boom, they're already starting the fight. In my opinion, I feel like that would be rushed. So I'd rather see the story evolve more, though I think the anime will expand on it more, but even the anime needs to go into the part 2 soon, because the anime has already surpassed part 1 Naruto, after the fight with him and Sasuke in the final valley, that was basically the end of part 1. Part 2 from there on was all filler, basically all the way till episode 220. Though with Boruto, we're at episode 230 and they're giving us some of the anime canon stuff, though some of it is filler, some of it isn't, depends on how you look at it. We are at episode 230 and I think they do need to end part 1 soon, so I think this arc coming is going to be the last of the arc, and this goes with the new opening coming out. So we know there's a new opening and ending coming with episode 231, and I think this opening is going to be a tribute to part 1 and it's going to move on to part 2. And I think it's going to follow the steps of the Naruto anime. We had that over, let's say, 80, 90 episodes of the filler stuff. And towards the end of it, we saw the opening of Naruto and it showcased a Naruto Shippuden version of himself. Just like how Naruto is running back in that last opening and he goes on to his Naruto Shippuden version, I think it's the same thing with this opening where Boruto's going to be running or something like that and he's going to see the time skip version of himself. Because depending on how long this arc is going to be, I think this arc will come to an end by the time the manga finishes the code arc, since I do believe after the code arc is the time skip, and if they do finish the code arc by say chapter 70s, then that'll give the Boruto anime about 3 or 4 months or maybe even 5 months or so to get enough anime canon material out before the time skip, and then they start the code arc. And I think they might show this opening till that point. They might call this opening the end of Boruto part 1. So chapter 70 of Boruto, we might go into the time skip, and then episodes, I'd say about 250 to 260s, we might get the anime to finish up the code arc, and then we go into the time skip. And I think this ending is going to foreshadow the Boruto time skip, just like how Naruto part 1 did it, where the ending showed Naruto going into Naruto Shippuden. So I do think the time skip is near. Let me know what you guys think. This is just an idea, this is just an opinion of what I think is going to happen and how it's going to play out soon. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos to come.